Hey everyone, and welcome back to OpenTTD. Where we left off, we had just set up our little train track here going down to the factory on this end, and from the lovely farm up on this end here, where we have an iron mine next to actually as well. So yeah, we're making a bit of money, not a whole lot because we only have this one train ferrying back and forth. So what I'm gonna do this session is actually include another train on this track. For that, we're going to need to play with some of these train signals that you can see in this menu here. I generally don't like to use the semaphores here because they look very noisy compared to what I'm used to looking at in terms of railway. So I'm going to be using these standard electric signals here, which are unlocked. So yeah, the first thing first. I wanted to create two separate tracks, so each of them being monodirectional. That way, trains coming toward each other don't have to like run into a small side track to actually wait to get past, and we can have generally higher speed all along the rail. The main reason we need a second train already is that if you look at this one here, we're only transporting about half the goods that it actually produces, and even so, that's a bit generous because when you first start up with some sort of fabrication facility, they start spewing all their goods onto your station, and then if no one picks it up, well, then they stop delivering more. So at the moment we have a huge surplus of grain and livestock here, which we need to send another train to pick up. Now, as I mentioned, the cheap way to do this would be to just have a couple of side tracks where the train can go in and wait for the other one to pass. But I'm gonna go all out and actually make a completely separate line here, which is why I set up this thing here in the first place. For now, I'm gonna stick with just having two parallel tracks and going in on the same side here, so whenever the train comes, it comes on this track here, goes in, parks on whichever one, then turns around in the station and leaves by this one. To achieve that, we need to use a bunch of signals. I generally use the standard block signals here for outside here when we have the both going in and out, because they can both prevent other trains from entering an already occupied track, and they can also prevent trains from leaving if there's another train already in this junction here. For the actual paths, I'm using these path signals here, which for this one we want it to be, if you look closely, it's on the right side here, facing this way, and then on this side we'll have it here, so it's facing this way, so trains coming from this side will see the front side of the path signal. So anyway, let's continue with just quickly building this. Down here in the corner I prefer to have them like a bit separated from each other. I could build them closer all the way down here, but that would mean that I couldn't place signals on both of them, and that's gonna end up an awful mess. So there we go. Need a new bridge as well. Yeah, that one. Continue. Parallel tracks all the way. No reason why not to. At least for now. And there we go. Another bridge here. There. And this one goes all the way over there and connects. Then we can remove this track here because we don't want them crossing over there. We put the block signals in front of the station here, and hopefully this train will... There we go. Now it should automatically move over to this track here. Yes. But that's also because it needs to go into the depot, so that's actually given in the orders. Anyway, this little button here determines how many tiles in between placing signals when we want to auto-place them. To auto-place signals on a longer stretch, you basically put one signal down, then you click and drag on that one, and there you go. It's automatically set up to face the same way as well. And this is where the trees that I mentioned in the last episode are going to come in a bit annoying, because they're actually in the way here for me to see where I put these tracks. So we do like this. End of the year report. Okay, so the first year we lost £75,000. But then again, that's mostly construction and new vehicles. it's actually all constructing the vehicles. And we made 33,000 from our single train. So we are making money provided that we stop building all the time. But who wants to stop building, huh? Okay, this track is there. And this one is on this tile, so just click and drag from there. Now, this might seem a bit excessive to have this many signals on the stretch when we're gonna have like 1 or 2 trains, and one of them is almost gonna be at a station at all times. But provided that I chose to build this track here in a decent location, we can actually later on connect more branches to it, and then this will serve as a sort of a mainline train track. It's a bit advanced, and we'll get to that eventually. But for now, just trust me in that it's a good idea to do all these signals. And it's an even better idea if we do them so they fit correctly. There we go. All said and done. Now, once you start getting a lot more trains onto your track, you'll want to move these depots onto a separate small side branch, so they're not actually in the way of other trains passing by when they're trying to enter them. So I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do instead is put another one there and then change the orders on this train to, after it's been to this depot, go in there as well. It might as well have 2 maintenance before it carries cargo. Then it can carry the cargo at max speed without risking another breakdown. That's my hope, at least. As you can see now, the amount of goods we've transported has actually fallen down to more or less nothing, because this train is actually really slow to move the goods. So we're gonna take a loan here. We can borrow up to 50,000. We might need to do that actually. And then I'm gonna clone this train here. Now this train has exactly the same orders as the first one, and it has the exact same setup of carriages. What I might actually be tempted to do is clone it once more, but we can't afford that right now, so that's gonna have to wait a bit. But hopefully this farm will start appreciating us more when we have 2 trains coming to pick up stuff. What I also could have done, and I still might do, is add, I think 3 more carts we can add onto each train, and then it'll still fit inside the station. You can put more carts in than will fit in station carriages. Why do I keep saying carts? But that's gonna vastly slow down the time it takes to load the train, and it's also gonna block these signals here, so other trains will not be able to enter the station as long as it's there. So that's definitely a very poor idea. That's why I built the station so big in the first place, or so long, so we actually had room to expand the trains in the length as well. Anyway, now we have this whole thing set up, and the train should be running neatly on right tracks. It appears there's like a signal missing on here somewhere. Just gonna put one there. Great. Now, as you can see, because we've started delivering stuff to this one, it should actually start producing goods. For some reason, it doesn't show that yet, or it doesn't show it right now, because last month we apparently didn't have any deliveries of. The time advances rather quickly in this game, as you can see down here. So if it's more than a month between train deliveries because of breakdowns and such, this one might not be completely accurate. However, this factory here would really much like to sell its goods somewhere. I totally get that. Goods from factories are sold in cities. Now, this city here is big enough to support offloading some goods. This one is a bit too small, I think. It needs some more office buildings before it can actually accept them. The same goes with this one down here. However, here we might have a chance. It's a bit far away. But on the other hand, if we then build the station, or rather if we have a track, then we can later connect this farm here as well. Like if we have a train station going in here and then the track coming out here, then it will be very easy to branch off and connect to this farm as well with a separate station. And then we'll have 2 ways to get stuff up here. So I think that might actually be our next project here, actually. No, we have money. We have money. That means that we're gonna clone this train one more time, because that's Now we've paid all this money for all this track, then we bloody well better use it. As you can see, with 2 trains we've gotten up to about 40-something%. It's gonna stabilize after a while. Now with 3 trains on it, it should be pretty much satisfied. Another option would be for us to actually put a do some, instead of putting train tracks down, we could do some what's it called, road vehicles. That would also be a decent idea, but for some reason I still like trains. I want to go with trains for now. Problem is, if you want to make a station in this town, we need to demolish this house and these 2 pieces of road and then have the station going out here. That seems to be the sweetest spot. The problem with building on top of farmland is that it's a lot more expensive and we don't have the money right now. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna grab this landscaping tool here and quickly flatten out this bit of the hill, and then we can put a train station. And as you can see, accepts in the middle of the screen there, passengers mail goods. So we can sell our goods from the factory here. Excellent. Now, in terms of getting tracks away from this station, the most direct route of course would be to go straight up. But there's both a river and a small hill in the way here. So we're just gonna sacrifice some money to actually flatten out this bit here. And rivers for some reason can be deleted, but that's bloody expensive, so we're gonna have to wait a bit with that. So yeah, right now I'm just setting up these. Actually, I didn't want to do that. If you notice, you can press and hold control to activate this demolish tool here automatically. It's quite a godsend. Now, I don't want those there, I want out there. Actually, I'm fucking gonna build a bridge. No, I'm not. That's expensive. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. But I might have to for now. Or we could simply do this and just have 1 track going here for now. We don't need more right now. So we're gonna do this. Flatten out a bit more of this hill so we can get around it. I generally don't like to build too much up and downhill if I can avoid it, because that's gonna slow the trains down to a crawl, especially these early engines here. Once you start getting the more powerful diesel trains and such, it's gonna be a lot easier to set that sort of thing up. Okay, so let's see. I think I want to go left around that town. So we'll continue up for a bit here. And then we'll run the track out here. Quickly flatten out this bit here. Now, in terms of connecting to the existing track, I want us to be able to both come, back and forth to this station here. I don't really care about going left right now. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're gonna move this depot here because I think that's gonna be in the way. Move this bit of track here, not that bit. There we go. And then we're gonna take this track up once we have the money. Come on, and you need trains with goods ready to... Okay, let's see. We're up to... Yeah, I can't build track that because I don't want to click on it and that. As you can see now, the factory has received goods, so it's producing 220 crates of goods last month, and now the month's changed, so it's gone. Whatever. Anyway, the farm here, as you can see, has started being a bit more heavy with us. We're transporting more of their goods, and we actually have a train waiting here. As you can see, we actually have a bit of surplus of livestock here. So what I might just do is have this train go to depot, and then I'm gonna put another livestock carriage on this one. That should help clear out the extra excess. There we go. Now, there should be a train approaching over here. Yeah, unloading. Bam, money. Excellent. Now we're gonna need to make a junction here which allows trains to go from this track here to the left and from this track here to the right. So the ladder is the simplest one because we can just do like this here and then have the train coming in there. Then you can turn right. Then we need a way for this, or for trains coming on this track here to go over here and run along the line. So we're gonna take this out here, all the way out here actually, and then turn it like that, and build a bridge across. I hit the wrong button there. There we go. Like that. So this is that last little junction here. We need to put in some signals in order to prevent blockage of anything, in general at least. There we go. Now the trains, if there's a train coming here, this one will wait here before trying to enter these tracks. And vice versa, if there's a train coming out here, this one will wait over here underneath the bridge. Now, because we're still only running one track here, we're just gonna merge these two immediately and then run it like this. Later on we'll expand it, of course, to include two separate lines like the other one, at least if we have enough traffic going on here. But for now, since we're only gonna have one train running along this track at all, because we can't afford more, then we'll get the line started and actually start producing some goods, transporting some goods. So yes, let's see, we want a depot down here, and we want another depot. Yeah, let's just put it here. And yeah, that was actually a stupid thing. Anyway, we are gonna put a... No, we're not. We're just gonna build... Yeah, now you can see I screwed myself a bit here, because I want the train to start by going over here and picking up stuff. But I put this one here so the train can't turn around here because the angle is too sharp, and if I do this it's still 90 degrees, which is too sharp for the settings I have set up. So I'm gonna actually have to build another depot right here, and then we'll do it with this. We can't afford a train. Okay, come on, anyone? You have about 16,000, a bit more because you're the one with the extra carriage on. And this one over here is nearly loaded, and this one should be coming up right after this leaves, so you see 80% transported here, so they're pretty happy with our services, I can imagine. Now, Mr. Train, what number are you? You're train 3. Hopefully you have enough money for us to, well, we should be able to buy the engine, but we won't be able to afford carts, carriages. And we can't actually borrow more money because the max loan is, or the loan's maxed out. And of course it has to break down right there. That is something approaching the luck we normally see in ISIS videos on Spelunky. There we go. Come on, little fella. You can do it. Choo-choo. AI game script debug. No suitable AI found because I don't have anyone installed. Okay. That's one thing I'm gonna have to look into, see if we can get some AI in here, just to kind of not give me a challenge as such, but steal some of the more lucrative opportunities that I have. There we go. Money. It's not enough. We're gonna need to wait for another train. And it's broken down as well. What is going on with these trains? I mean, come on, dude. Okay, train's arriving now. We should be able to afford our new train as soon as this one has unloaded. 9%. There we go. Money, 17,000. Excellent. So we have a new train here. We're gonna fill it with yeah, 8 carriages seems about right. Yeah, let's go with that. And we want, because we only have one type of goods on this train, we're just gonna say full load any cargo. And then we're gonna say go to all the way down here. and unload all. We don't really need to specify that. But yeah, unload and leave empty. That's the full set of orders that we can actually give it. And then we're gonna tell it to go to service in this depot here, because then it's ready to pick up stuff. There we go. And we're actually gonna name this train, I think. Name. Because this is our goods train, it's gonna be named Goody-two-train. There we go. Alright, because this factory has never seen us pick up goods at this station, this train is gonna have to actually stay parked here until the next train arrives, before it starts loading up at all. So we're gonna save that for next episode, and hopefully our goods train will start making some even more money for us. So until next time, this is Jerry signing off. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more of the video. Also, thank you tons for all your comments on the previous episode. Just keep them coming and I'll keep playing.